Ladies, welcome back to the Feminine Mystery. Today we're talking all about living situations and how to get yourself from point A to point B in a way where you're not having to spend more money in order to do it. Now, this has a variety of applications, but when it comes to leveling up specifically, sometimes you're just not quite in the environment that you need to be in order to really take yourself to the next level. There's nothing quite so, embarrassing as being out on a date with like this guy and, he wants to drop you off back at your home, but you're embarrassed of where you live. Or you're making friends and they want to come over, but you don't want them to know about this place that you live that's less than great. Right? So, how are you going to, if you don't have more money to spend, work with that and get yourself into a better situation? Or if you're looking to move to a new place, how are you going to do that without necessarily having all of this, additional money coming in the beginning? This is going to be a video with actionable strategies just for that. So we're going to talk about location first, and then we're going to start to get into things more like negotiating tactics, data, and what you can do to really work with your situation the way it is. Now, if you're new here, my name is Azalea Dawn, and I make videos all about how feminine women can take themselves to the next level. Now, let's get started. Now, the first step here is to truly be mindful of locations that will present you with the best opportunities. When it comes to the thing that I notice about a lot of girls who really have so much potential is that you are really not in the place where you need to be in order to really have the opportunities that you want start to present themselves to you. Let's say that you are somebody where you want to date up, you want to date more affluent men, you want to really, improve your caliber when it comes to who you are dating and being in a relationship with. Well, the first step in that is to actually be somewhere where these people are to begin with. At the end of the day, you're just not going to find these multi-millionaires living in these, regular towns where maybe you grew up, or maybe you know a lot of people, maybe that's where you're from or where your family is, right? You just have to take yourself to a bigger market. Maybe it's not necessarily that you need to level up or be more attractive or do more with your hair and your outfits. Maybe you're already doing that super well, but you're just not in the right place to attract what you want because what you want just isn't there, right? So it's kind of like if you were at a store, for instance. At the end of the day, you're just not going to buy like the latest iPhone, as far as I know. Tell me if I'm wrong here, but you're just not going to buy the latest iPhone at the Dollar General. You're just in the wrong store. You're just in the wrong location for what you want. So that may be very much like a possibility with you right now. Maybe you're just not in the right place. So in order to start thinking about that, you want to start being more mindful with where it is that you're looking to live to begin with, and sort of threading the needle through a variety of needs. For example, maybe you do want to be somewhat close to your family, so you want to be maybe in the same state or in a state close by if you're in the United States. Maybe you want to stay in the same country if you're in Europe because, that's a different situation over there. But you can just move to a bigger market. And one of the things that people think is like, okay, that would be great if I had all this additional money, but I don't have, maybe like this career or this degree, this job. You want to eliminate that mindset about all these additional things that you need before you start making the choices that you want to make. At the end of the day, what's really going to help you manifest this is to stop with all of the prerequisites. Stop thinking, I need this, but only after I have that. I need this, but only after I accomplish this thing first, right? Be open, be receptive, and start to think about, okay, if you could really be anywhere that you wanted to live in order to, like make life really happen for you, where would that be, right? Just ask yourself the question through a dart on the map and really see what the possibilities are. And that's really going to be the first step to helping this manifest for you. The next thing you want to do is to be proactive with things and plan before you land. This is one of the biggest things that I think really a lot of people get wrong in life. They say that if you don't have a plan, like without a plan, like you're planning to fail or something like that. I'm probably butchering that, but you know what I mean. You really do have to start planning things out because it's going to help you to be proactive instead of reactive, right? When you start with something super early, way before it needs to be done, let's say you are currently in a position where you're like, okay, I'm going to be in this place at least for the next 2 or 3 years. Don't wait until you are right, like 2 or 3 weeks from moving to start making a plan for what's going to happen. You want to start planning now. And this is not just, a literal, logical, very practical thing to help you, but it's also great for manifestation, right? What is the thing that really is the difference between like, oh, when we say something like, oh my gosh, I just want to die right now, right? Why it doesn't just happen versus like when we actually want to manifest something, it starts to realize itself in our lives. Well, the thing that makes a difference is action. When you really start to put action behind your words, behind your intentions, that's when opportunities are going to start to present themselves to you. There are a lot of, old Jewish women who say this thing all the time. Like if you're single, for example, they'll tell you literally you want to go inside your house, go into your bedroom closet and clear half the closet like somebody else is going to move in. You want to clear half your drawers like you're waiting for someone else to move into your home. That's, the art of manifestation at a very high level. In the same way, you want to start to get out those Pinterest boards, get out, your Shop Tagger app, get anything out, start shopping for furniture now. Right, start looking for everything you need to fill your home and make it aesthetic, because when you start to take that action, that's what's going to start to let the universe know to start to bring something to you and start to present like pathways forward for this to happen. That is something that is more important than you realize. Also, the longer the runway that you have to really be making decisions, the higher quality your decisions are going to be. There is something to be said, even if maybe you don't believe in manifestation, maybe you're not, like one of like the witchy girls out here, maybe that's just not for you and you just want the practical things to do. Well, you want to be mindful that when you have a longer runway to make decisions, you're going to make higher quality decisions with less energy. So just doing a little bit each day, a little, okay, like this is how I'm going to, like make this room aesthetic. This is how I'm going to make this room look good. This is where I can get this for a great price. Oh, okay, like this is basically the same as this piece from Restoration Hardware, but I can get it here for like $400 instead of $4,000. When you start to make all of those little decisions on a regular basis, that is going to add up to a lot more ease down the road, instead of, this mad dash to the end where it feels like you're working like 48 hours out of a 24-hour day, excuse me, just to get something done. So really start early and be proactive instead of reactive. Okay, now we're getting into the good stuff. You need to use your looks as leverage to negotiate competitive pricing. This is something I really wanted to put a little bit deeper into the video because it's going to be very controversial, I feel, at least, because a lot of people, they still, despite like the fact that everybody's been told since they were children, life's not fair, a lot of people have this justice complex. They feel as though, the world has to be fair, everything has to be, fair, right, equitable, everybody has to follow the same rules all the time, but things are just not like that in the world. So if you are a sensitive person, maybe this section is just not going to be for you. But if you are really ready to play to win, look, you need to start leveraging your looks as an advantage when you're negotiating, okay? And you want to start doing this sooner rather than later. So, like, when it comes to that, you need to understand that other people are, buying, selling, and trading off of your beauty, and beautiful girls in general, okay? They have entire business models made out of essentially getting certain kinds of people to certain kinds of places. And when it comes to, anything, including like real estate, they have an ideal type of customer, right? They have an ideal person that they want living in their place, especially more upscale living situations. And they are willing to work with you, especially when you are that type of person, you are that type of customer. When you are that girl, you're eating healthy, you look really good, you are quiet, you are orderly, you are somebody who looks good, you speak well, you are not, brash, tacky, a little, I hate to say it, but ghetto. you know, that sort of thing is really off-putting for people. When you are somebody who is very different, they are really willing to do what it takes to make sure that you are there, because you are attracting other clientele at the end of the day that they want to have in this place. Don't think that people are above behaving like this or that they would never do something like that. No, okay, people do it every day, all the time. So how do you want to start negotiating? You want to really, make sure that you're going about it in a way that is pleasant, that is classy, that is not aggressive in any kind of way. And that really comes from leveraging the relationship. So you want to make sure that anytime that you are, maybe like prospecting a new place to live, okay, be a little flexible with the budget and just see like, okay, maybe this place is a little more expensive than what you can do, but you're going to explore what they have available. From there, maybe if you're traveling somewhere for the first time and you want to tour apartment complexes, you want to go in person, you want to make sure that you look good, that you have a cute outfit on, you want to make sure that you are friendly, that you're smiling, that you are shaking hands, you're telling people about yourself. That includes any hobbies you have, some quirky details like you have like a corgi named Fred or whatever. Just share a little bit about yourself and start to build that personal relationship. Take the contact information, store it for later, and let people follow up with you. Then, whenever you're just, in the process of, okay, I'd really like to move to this place, again, this is why it's good to be proactive. So you can do this some years out and just let the natural cycle of things kind of fluctuate. If an opportunity presents itself, you want to basically pick up the phone, go in person if you can, looking good, sit down, talk a little bit first, ask about the other person, see what they're up to, see their life. Don't, rush into things. And then you want to get into the fact that, like, essentially, you need a better price in some way to help you afford things. You need maybe like, okay, like, can you do 200 or 300 off? Can you maybe reduce the price of like this package? Okay, I love like the amenities here, but I'm really not, planning on using things like that. Are you able to take the summation of that fee and eliminate that from the amount that I'm paying each month? See what they can do to work with you, because when you are their ideal type, their ideal clientele, you'd be surprised how people will go to bat to really make sure that they can get you into their complex. Speaking of looking good at a moment's notice, there is nothing that makes that quite so easy as a claw clip and a great quality hair oil. It's like a two-in-one really, because like you can get this really great hair treatment in, so that as soon as you're done doing your errands or whatever you need to do for the day, you can just go straight home and get into your everything shower. It is really the ultimate like time-saving hack. But also, when it comes to hair oils, you really want to pay attention to what you're using, and that's why I developed this. In my hair oil, I'm using fractionated coconut oil that really is very lightweight, because the molecules are broken up to be reduced in size so that they can penetrate deeper into the hair shaft, which makes it so that the oil is actually going into your hair instead of just sitting on top and making your hair look oily and gross. When you apply this, it just makes it look like you have like naturally shiny, really good hair, and it's super flexible still. So that's why I love it. It's a really great thing to just, grab and go and use whenever you need to like get that good hair treatment in. So if you would like to, definitely check my brand out. I have a link in the description box below so you can shop my brand on Amazon. Now let's get back into the video. Now, my final bit of advice here is to make use of the huge amount of data available in the world nowadays. We have all of this talk about like AI and big data, but really like the best like phrase for it in my opinion would be huge data, just because like there's so much that is now known about the world versus 20 years ago. If you were, like let's say like in 1995, like you wanted to move somewhere where there was like a lot of singles, and a lot of like millionaire singles at that, you really had to rely on like word of mouth. You had to ask around and see what was happening here or there, and then you just had to show up sight unseen and figure out what to do. Nowadays, you can literally use data and figure out every single thing you need to know. So if you are, a smart and pretty girl, look, don't just like rely on like word of mouth or like guesses or anything like that. You want to follow the data and see what the numbers are saying. Where are there tons of, like millionaire singles right now? If you are maybe, for example, like a female and you want to date a male who is a millionaire, you want to go to a place where there's a really good ratio of single males who are, you know, looking essentially for relationships, who are also economically doing well. So you might want to look at things like the ratio of like homeowners to renters, because that's going to be huge vehicle towards wealth for a lot of people. You want to start to look at things like, okay, like what companies here, what prominent industries are here are hiring? Are they high salary jobs? Like what is going on in this area that would make a compelling case for you to move there? And also, when it comes to data, this is going to help you when it comes to negotiating for your own, situation as well. Did you know that there have literally been studies that say that regardless of the merit of the reason, right, when you have a reason, you just simply provide a reason in an argument, it makes somebody more likely to say yes. So, like, there have literally been studies done showing that if you just ask somebody for something like, oh, I need 7 cents, like you're more likely to get a yes if you say I need 7 cents so that I can go to the store and buy, a piece of gum, right? Even if it's not a good reason, you're more likely to get a yes when you just provide a reason. So even in this example where you are maybe like going to negotiate down like a certain price, you want to come in with facts. You don't want to come in with grievances, things like, oh, okay, like there's a crack on this wall over here. No, you want to come in with facts that show that you did your research, like the price per square foot that is the median in the area where you are. You want to start to look at similar, like apartment complexes and the amenities that they offer, package deals that may be competitive in other complexes, things that say that you really sat down, did your homework, did the math, and you built a case that was compelling for somebody else to say yes, because it's going to make it easier for other people to help you. Alright, ladies, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you want other videos all about leveling up, then, consider checking out the rest of the videos on my channel. There should be one popping up on the screen right now that YouTube thinks you're really going to love. I will see you in my next one. Bye!